What if one elephant's secret could teach us how to face the impossible and come out stronger? In Namibia's Iosha National Park, where golden grasslands shimmer under a relentless sun, that secret belonged to Myra, a pregnant elephant whose swollen belly had rangers whispering about miracles and disasters. Her size was unlike anything they'd seen, a mystery that hung heavy in the dry air, promising a birth that could change everything. Myra wasn't just carrying a calf, she was carrying a story of courage, one that would test everyone around her and leave them forever changed. Jonas Carter knew Myra better than most. A weathered American in his late 40s, he'd traded Chicago's concrete for Iosha's wild plains 20 years ago, after a car crash took his brother, a loss he still blamed himself for. In the savannah's vastness, Jonas found purpose protecting elephants, and Myra was special. Had watched her grow from a clumsy calf, all floppy ears and fearless mischief, into the herd's gentle queen. Her warm eyes and soft trumpets eased the ache in his heart, making her more family than animal. Now, as her belly grew to an alarming size, Jonas felt dread creeping in, the kind that whispered he might fail her, just as he'd failed his brother. He wasn't alone in his vigil. Sarah Lopez, a young ranger in her mid-20s, had joined the team fresh from wildlife training in Montana. With a sharp eye for animal behavior and a hunger to prove herself, Sarah was a spark in the dusty camp, her quick notes and quicker questions challenging Jonas' cautious ways. Together they led a small crew of rangers, their days filled with patrols and binoculars. No fancy gadgets to lean on, just boots, gut, and a shared love for the herd. They'd set up camp by Myra's favorite baobab tree, its twisted branches casting shadows over their tents, watching her every move as the savannah hummed around them. Myra's pregnancy was no ordinary one. Her belly, swollen far beyond normal, made every groan and slow step a cause for concern. Jonas, who'd seen big calves born before, couldn't shake the feeling that something was different, rare even. He kept a worn notebook filled with sketches of Myra's habits, jotting down her reduced appetite and longer rests, each detail tightening the knot in his stomach. Sarah, peering through binoculars, noticed the herd circling Myra tighter, their trunks brushing her sides as if sensing trouble. The team doubled their patrols, their eyes locked on Myra's strained form, ready for a birth that felt like it could tip either way. But something else was stirring in the grasslands. Sarah spotted fresh tracks in the dirt one evening. Large, deep prints from a massive bull elephant, scarred and restless, circling closer to Myra's herd. Jonas recognized the signs. A territorial male, his trumpets growing louder, his presence a shadow over the camp. The male's agitation seemed tied to Myra's condition, as if her groans and the herd's huddle were pulling him in. Jonas and Sarah exchanged worried glances, knowing a bull like that could turn a delicate moment into chaos. They tightened their watch, marking a wider perimeter to track the male's movements, their nerves fraying as Myra's groans grew louder. Days blurred into nights, the savannah's heat giving way to cool, starlit skies. Myra's condition worsened, she rested longer, her steps heavier, her groans carrying a weight that set the team on edge. Jonas noted her labored breathing, a sign labor was near, and prepared a medical kit with a labor-inducing drug, just in case. Sarah, scanning the horizon, saw the male elephant closer now, his tusks glinting as he pushed younger males away, his trumpets sharp with dominance. The herd's protective circle around Myra grew tighter, their ears flapping nervously, signaling they felt the threat too. Jonas debated intervening, but held back, trusting the herd's instincts while keeping his team close, their binoculars trained on both Myra and the restless bull. One morning, as dawn painted the grasslands pink, Myra stopped moving. She stood by the baobab, swaying, then sank to her side, her breathing heavy and ragged. Jonas' heart raced. This was it. He signaled the team to approach slowly, his voice low to keep Myra calm. Sarah stayed at his side, her journal forgotten, eyes wide with focus. Myra's groans grew sharper, her massive body trembling with effort. Jonas knelt a safe distance away, his hands steady as he whispered to her, the same way he had when she was a calf. She flicked her ears as if recognizing him, her eyes weary but trusting. The male elephant's trumpets echoed in the distance, closer than before, sending a chill through the team. Jonas' gut told him Myra was struggling. Her contractions were strong but slow, and her exhaustion was clear. After a tense moment of weighing risks, he decided to act, pulling the labor-inducing drug from his kit. He'd used it once before, years ago, and knew precision was everything. With Sarah's help, he approached Myra's side, speaking softly as he injected the dose. Myra moaned louder, her tail lashing, but she didn't pull away. The team held their breath, the savanna falling silent except for her labored breaths. Minutes later, the first calf emerged, a tiny, wobbly creature, its trunk twitching as it took its first breath. Joy surged through the team, Sarah letting out a quiet gasp, Jonas' eyes misting as he guided the calf closer to Myra. But Myra's groans didn't stop. Her belly still heaved, her contractions relentless. Jonas' hand pressed against her side, feeling the rhythm, and his heart skipped. "She's not done," he whispered, barely believing it. Twins. In African elephants, twins were almost unheard of, a 1 in a million chance. Sarah's eyes widened, her voice a mix of awe and fear. "Twins? Are you sure?" Before Jonas could answer, a deafening trumpet shattered the moment. The territorial male elephant charged from the brush, his massive form shaking the earth. Provoked by Myra's distress calls and the herd's frantic huddle, dust swirled, his tusks gleaming, his eyes wild with dominance. The team froze, hearts pounding, as Jonas raised a hand for calm, knowing any sudden move could spook Myra. Sarah gripped his arm, her voice a whisper. "He's coming for her." Myra, exhausted, lifted her trunk weakly, nudging her first calf closer, her maternal instinct unbroken even now. Then a second trumpet roared deeper, fiercer. Myra's mate, a colossal bull who'd been grazing nearby, surged forward, his bulk a wall of gray muscle. He met the aggressor head-on, their tusks clashing in a bone-rattling standoff. The ground trembled, the herd trumpeting in support, their ears flapping as they formed a protective ring around Myra. Jonas pulled Sarah back, giving the elephant space, his trust in the herd outweighing his fear. The aggressor, outmatched, retreated into the grasslands, his trumpets fading as Myra's mate stood guard, his trunk raised in triumph. In the chaos, Myra pushed again. The second calf slipped into the world, smaller but just as alive, its tiny legs flexing as it stirred. Jonas and Sarah exhaled, tears mixing with dust on their faces. They worked quickly, drying the calves and guiding them to Myra's side, where she nuzzled them with her trunk, her breath steadying. The twins, wobbly but strong, pressed against her, their floppy ears twitching as they sought her warmth. The herd's trumpets softened, a chorus of celebration as Myra's mate returned, his trunk brushing her side in quiet reassurance. Myra struggled to her feet, her mate steadying her with gentle nudges. The twins stumbled beneath her, their clumsy steps drawing soft laughs from the team. Jonas stepped back, his heart full, the weight of his past lighter than it had been in years. Sarah, her confidence earned, suggested names for the twins' valor and grace, for the herd's bravery and Myra's strength. The names felt right, like a promise of the future. The savanna glowed golden, the baobab shadows stretching long as the herd gathered, their trunks raised in a victory anthem that echoed across the plains. Jonas radioed the news to the park, his voice thick with emotion. Cheers crackled back, the team's relief a shared triumph. He watched Myra and her twins, their first steps a testament to survival, and felt something shift inside him. Myra's courage had shown him what he'd forgotten, that even after loss, life finds a way to keep going. He glanced at Sarah, who was sketching the twins in her journal, her eyes bright with purpose. They'd faced the odds together, and they'd won. Jonas leaned against the baobab, watching Myra's twins stumble and play, their tiny trunks twitching in the golden light. Their survival taught him a simple truth. Courage isn't just facing danger, it's trusting those around you to stand together when it counts. Myra's herd, her mate, even Sarah's quick thinking, they all showed that no one survives alone. Life's toughest moments demand we lean on each other, human or animal, to find strength we didn't know we had. That lesson, carved into the savanna's dust, was one Jonas would carry forever, a reminder to keep fighting, keep trusting, and keep building bonds that outlast any storm. As the herd's trumpets faded into the breeze, Jonas smiled, knowing Myra's story deserved to be shared. It was a tale of grit and hope, one that could inspire others to care for the wild as fiercely as he did. If Myra's courage moved you, give this story a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Join our community to keep these incredible tales alive. Together, we can shine a light on nature's miracles and fight for a world where elephants like Myra and her twins thrive.